Good morning, welcome to Terra at Home. I'm here with Amii at one of our Terra locations, and we are going to talk about, as we move in towards fall, about, of course, we want to have some plant life around us inside.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
As we slowly are going to be moving away from all the beautiful plant life outside.
Yes.
So you have some good ideas here with some succulents and air plants.
Yeah, succulents and air plants are really popular. They have been, but they're coming back into fashion again, especially inside the home. Very easy plants, and that's why they're so popular.
That's what people like. Isn't it funny how everything comes down to people just want efficiency and easy, and because our lives are so crazy.
Yes, I deal in plants all day, every day, but when I go home, I still want them, but I don't want to have to take care of them.
Yeah. No, because some plants can be a lot higher maintenance, and it's easy to forget. I find I forget about my indoor ones a lot sometimes.
Oh, me
they're
too.
just sort of there, right?
They're
and
there.
They're like, oh no.
Yeah, until they wilt, they're not. There's no attention.
Thus, the succulents, because they retain a lot of water themselves, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Succulents are great. They retain water, so you don't have to water as frequently. Not to say they don't need water, because they absolutely do. They just don't need water as frequently as other plants. So something like this arrangement here would be great inside the house, because you only have to water once a week or so. Likes bright light. Will tolerate indirect light, but just easy to have, just easy to just place and have it.
And very nicely kept too, right? They're and there's lots of different variation in color and texture.
Yeah.
And they just sort of keep nicely. They don't overgrow quickly and
exactly. They're very slow growing, so it's something that you can kind of just have, set it there, and you'll have it looking the way it looks for a good amount of time. And yeah, there's different colors in them, different textures. And,
So this is something that you can get away with doing yourself, obviously, or you can pick up arrangements already done here at Terra.
Yeah.
If you were, take me through the process of putting together a succulent container. What type of soil you need and what you need to do.
Okay, absolutely. I have one here, so we'll actually do one.
Okay.
I knocked some stuff off. You can really use any type of container. So what I've done is I've actually put some drainage just inside so that the water can drain through. I have just a cactus and succulent soil here in this pot. So you just really put your soil into the pot here. Cactus and succulent soil is good because it is a more well-drained soil, so it won't retain too much moisture for the plants themselves.
Because you can actually overwater them, right?
Absolutely. That's one of the biggest problems people have, is that too much love.
Again, these are ones you're supposed to be able to ignore a little bit.
Exactly. So in planting them, I mean, it's very simple. It's much like planting any other plants. Just remove the plant from the pot, place it at the container level, and I brought a few different little ones that we could plant up here.
I love it. And again, we're talking about all the different colors and textures. An example of look at all what we have here.
Yeah, this one's great.
I like that.
Yeah. You can add, I mean, it's up to you, all the different things that you like, and
it's so fun because we have so many cool pots here at Terra as well. Like
we
can
do,
have
absolutely.
a ton of fun with it. I mean, you're looking at this square lime green, but there's fuchsias and very muted tones. So you can
match your decor, and so something like this, you have it and you can have it year round, but you can really follow it up. I even grabbed something like this, a tiny little calancho. It's succulent-like, so it grows very well with succulents, but has a flower. Because people are always looking for color, flowers, things like that.
You're right. That's a good point, because
so
again,
if
obviously people can come in and ask questions about what will work, but you want to make sure it's going to work in this environment.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
that one is, that this doesn't.
I like it just because it has color, and then when there is no color, it's still a little green plant. So people do really like those ones. And then after that, you just backfill with your soil, and you're good.
And you're good to go. And you're saying watering like once a week, just a little bit.
I would say once a week. If it's in a really bright spot inside your house, you may have to water more frequently. Yeah. Succulents will tell you, they kind of shrivel a little bit and get a little bit wrinkly or dry looking.
I've noticed that.
Yeah, so I mean, they're pretty easy and they're forgiving. So if they do get a little bit dry, you can quickly pick them back up again.
Right. And this is actually a really great gift idea as well for somebody. A lot of times people bring people flowers, like fresh cut flowers. Yeah. But this is something that's going to last.
That's what I always say.
I think this is a great gift.
I'd much rather get something like this.
I would too.
Does it last?
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course, and you can make it. So it's kind of fun.
And that's
more
fun.
Personal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now, again, the succulent's a great idea, but also we were talking about air plants, and they're actually really fun because
extremely fun, fun and much easier than people would think.
Yes.
They're actually almost funny how easy they are to grow. So we have a couple little things here. I'll show you. This one here is just like a little greenhouse. So this is something we're carrying at Terra.
That's awesome.
It's a greenhouse
looking.
already preset with these guys. And to maintain an air plant, all you have to do is either mist it with a mister.
Okay.
In something like this, I might actually take the air plants out and set them into a bucket of water and soak them. And you only have to do that about once every week or so.
Okay.
And let them sit for 4 or 5 minutes, and they actually will absorb moisture into the plant, and that'll carry them through.
Okay, so that's pretty easy to take care of. And I mean, this is actually, you can buy this as it is, like this.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, that's cool.
And we also sell air plants just by themselves, and they seem so unusual because
yes, they
I'm just going to show you, because you find them just like this, just simple little plants that look very unusual, and we carry them in different sizes. And one thing that I think is important to mention is air plants flower, and they get this really great flower, and there's different ones, but with bright oranges and pinks on them, so they are really neat, actually.
That's so fun. So we're actually going to put together an air plant.
Yeah, so air plants do great. They can sit on pieces of wood, they can sit in glass, they can sit in any different type of container. I grabbed a glass one just because it's something that we do a lot of here at Terra, and it's so fun and so easy.
Again, lots of really cool glass containers with some of them really neat bases, some of them that we have like a teardrop one that hangs, and all kinds of really neat things.
Exactly, yeah, and they're fun. And you can really personalize something like this because you can add different accents yourself. So I brought a couple different things that we'll use. There's little wood pieces that I've got here. I've got some natural stone here that we could use, and I've also got this really fun blue stone that's really popular. It's a sand. People really like it. So just for the sake, I'll show you how easy it is.
And so nothing is going to be conflicting with the plant itself.
No.
No like crossover toxicities or anything like that, because they
it's
just
very simple.
Yeah.
And to maintain the plant, all you're going to do is pop it out and water it separately, and pop it back in. So it kind of gives you the freedom of fun with something like that. I know.
You're just like taking it out and watering it, but oh wow.
People are kind of scared of them, but at the same time, it's something. I'll show you how just fun and easy it can be.
Okay.
So I like the natural elements, like the different woods and stones and things like that. But something that's really fun is the color. So a lot of people like to take a color, match it to their decor, or use that seaside theme or different things like that.
Right, because you can put shells in there.
Yeah, so that you can add pieces of wood, little trees, anything like that. So just in doing it, you don't have to do anything to the container. You don't have to prepare it. You don't have to do anything.
Right.
So here's my container. I'm going to put some sand into it. I like this blue color, so I'm going to add it. And I can add as much or as little as I want, depending on where it's going to be seen in my house, or give it a shake. I might want to add some natural stones, just in little clusters.
That's the cool part. You can get all the product here, and you can just be creative.
Yeah. We build all kinds of them here, and our designers, they all have different tastes and different looks that they like to work with. So you'll see very different ones here, but you'll also be able to pick up all the different elements to build your own. I love the little wood pieces for some reason. You can create like little backdrops with them, and it's like the whole miniature thing. You can do what you'd like to with them.
And then you can literally just stick one of those guys in there.
Yep.
Let's see.
Yep, just like that. And you just dig them into the sand.
How awesome is that?
And you can put a couple in, you can put,
And again, as you say, you just change it up whenever you want, because you have to take them out to water them.
Exactly.
See how fun that is? You can still have color and life in your house in the fall.
Yes.
Really good ideas with succulents and air plants, and just have fun with it. Thank you so much, Amii.
No problem.
Good
Thanks
stuff.
for having me.
We'll be back with more Terra at Home.
When I dream in color. When I think of color, I think of Terra. Make your dreams come true at Terra, where color lives.
Heritage perennials. Look for us in the blue pots.
Good morning, welcome back to Terra at Home. We're in our Terra kitchen. We've got it all decorated for Halloween. We're back with Michelle from Terra, and this is such a fun time of year.
I love Halloween.
We just start decorating for fall, and then we just start throwing in Halloween stuff, so it gets to get in the blacks and in the whites and the gold oranges and just have fun with it.
It's totally fun, but doesn't it feel like we cram a lot into the fall?
We do.
We need to have other holidays in the spring that give us fun stuff like this.
And I think that's what makes our winters so long, right? Once we hit January, we're like, oh, and then Valentine's Day is so exciting, one off day, right? But this is just so much fun because we can really kind of work again through the fall colors and just start making it spooky outside.
Absolutely. And you know what? There's a lot of people who love to go very whimsy Halloween. They like to go spooky Halloween. There's different mediums, right?
Yes,
So some of the really fun things I think that kind of cater to everybody though are these awesome hats.
Yeah,
Which
we have awesome hats.
I gotta tell you, I think they're pretty cool.
Yes.
They're just, you know what, it's fun. It's fun for people handing out candy. It's fun as a part of a costume. And they're different. They're not your everyday witch's hats.
You know what, and that's amazing. I actually got one last year and dressed it. My son wants me to be a witch every single year because he thinks it's awesome. But I had one of these, and it's fun because we have different really cool, like very ornate ones that come out every year. But as you say, if you're just answering the door, just wear all black, put on one of these hats,
and
you're
it's
good
fun.
to go, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so without having to get too involved. Okay, so talking about some of the decorations around your home as well, you can use these in transition as you have just one sitting here. Just put one up on your mantle, or
Exactly.
you know, you can put
and you know what? It's as easy as like just stuffing some paper in there, and it will stay up like a witch's hat, basically. So, yeah, you could use that as your centerpiece. Add a few pumpkins around it, and there you go.
And again, lots of people love having Halloween gatherings and parties, whether it's for kids or for adults or both. So really getting, you know, again, just adding little decorations around your house just to kind of, you know, make it
Change
feel
it up a little bit.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
Definitely change it
Now, as
up.
you mentioned, some people go really like full on, just crazy, wacky, or whimsical, and some people like to keep it very subtle. So when we're looking at, you know, decorations like this, you can just kind of go black and very similar.
Absolutely.
Like, just
And
straightforward.
you know what? Something for me that I've always loved is on Halloween night, just having some candles on that have like the bats on them.
Yes,
you
they,
know?
they add a lot of, and again, they've got the tiny ones for the votives.
You already have candles with your pumpkin on, so
Right.
it just kind of gives you that ambiance. It makes it feel like something, and it's easily put away.
It's
you know?
true. It's
you can
true.
just put them away in the candle cupboard.
These look really cool when the light shines through them
They
as well.
do. They look
right?
really, really nice.
Very easy. Okay.
Then, you know, there are other things that you can do. It's just simple, like headbands.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's not home decor, but you can walk around and feel like Halloween.
Yeah, you can put these on pumpkins too.
You can put them on animals.
You can put them on animals.
kids.
Yes, and children, or these actually fit adults' heads as well.
On the pumpkins, you could actually do really cute faces.
You really can. You do a cool face on the pumpkin, and you put these on your pumpkins, and you line them all up. It's actually a really fun thing to do. You can have so
Different,
much.
right?
Oh yeah.
And there's some fun ones like the spiders, neat, and the bats. I love the bats, and you know, I'm not a real fan of the spooky part of Halloween because I like the kind of whimsy part and cutting the pumpkins. But I love the bats.
Right.
I'm a fan of bats in general,
Well,
so I like the bats.
And once a lot of times your kids start to get older too, then you start to get maybe more into the spooky things, right?
Yes. Yeah. Right now when they're young, it's fun.
Yes.
You know? They
Yeah.
are pumpkins and owls and
Exactly.
things like that.
It's funny.
so.
My neighbors and I were laying down stones this past summer, and we're looking at some of them. They were like, "Wow, some of them actually look like gravestones. We're going to keep those, and we're going to wedge them into our front lawn and make them look like headstones,
Oh,
right?"
fun.
But again, you can kind of do a little bit of that fun. You know, if you still want your children to come to your house and not be too scared, you know, then you start to add some of the fun little things. Like if we look across the front, again, just really cute, more inviting Halloween things.
Throw a couple things on your fireplace mantle or on your kitchen table, and then call it a day. Replace, you know, your fall glass that we talked about earlier in the season with some black and white pumpkins, and it's done. It's easy.
And looking at the table runners and that you can use, like lots of different styles.
Lots
and what
of
you can do
different
there,
styles.
right?
Exactly. Yeah. And table runners are fun. I mean, you can quite essentially just buy some felt yourself and cut bats out of them or cut pumpkins out of them, or you can buy them already made for you in spider webs.
Yeah, exactly. So again, lot of ideas. Coasters, again, the letters. These are really fun to have too.
Yeah,
so it's not just about decor. If you have a mantle that you can just throw these up on, and you know, again, going as we've talked in the past about, you know, decorating that main floors where a lot of guests are going to see, and you're entertaining. You know, the little two-piece bathroom and making it fun and kind of spooky. The smells, so scented candles, and again, all that kind of adds to the fun of it all.
Yes, it does.
I'm obviously wearing a little
Dracula capes.
Yes.
The black or the white.
Yeah,
so for the little ones, I think it's
Yes.
kind of fun.
Or the big ones.
The big ones. it's quite cute.
Yes, it just barely
And
fits
a lovely
me, but-
bird.
Yes. What? You never know what you're gonna find.
Halloween.
Again, if you just dress all in like black, or just add some fun, just elements from your closet, go through and just add a couple of these little things, you're good to go.
You're good to go, exactly.
So lots of really cool ideas when it comes to decorating. And again, I really like the idea of this jar.
I love this jar.
This is amazing.
So
Can we catch that?
This jar is obviously a pumpkin. So you can fill it with candy, you could fill it with punch, you could fill it with whatever.
Sure.
But it's one of those pieces that doesn't necessarily have to be Halloween. You could do it for fall and fill it with fall leaves or acorns or something like that.
And different things, like you could really just have a lot of fun with it.
But it would be a piece that you'd have forever.
Yes.
Because you could pull it out and do different things with it every year, which is why I absolutely love this.
I know, and I know that we've had, in the past, we've had lots of different, when, having dinner parties, and again, that combination of fall and Halloween, and having people over, and the small little pumpkin dishes where you put, your soup in, or there's just so many different decorative ideas, and that's the cool thing is when you come to Terra, you can walk around and you're like, oh my gosh. It gets endless. You have to control yourself, right? Of the possibilities. And again, we're talking about the fact that, you can go very simple and straightforward and have like a simple black. Oh, these are plastic.
They're plastic.
I didn't even notice that until I picked them up.
Plastic martini cups.
How fun is that? So these are actually really good if you're throwing a Halloween party.
Yes.
No breakage, but they're straightforward, they're lightweight.
And they look like glass.
And
clearly.
So
they look fancy.
Clearly they do, because that's what I was thinking with. But you can just imagine what you could do. Again, change up some light bulbs, put in some black lights or whatever, and just have some fun with all the possibilities of decorations and what we're doing. Now, again, the fall decor that we do outside. So the beautiful mum arrangements that we have, and all of the other fall planters that we do. Take those and add a little bit of some of the Halloween into them too,
Absolutely. Right? Oh yeah, add some black and white pumpkins or whatever. One of the other things that we've done here actually a few times is we've done a stack of pumpkins in like the pots. So instead of taking the plants out, because usually the plants are kind of, depending on the weather, sad by then.
Yeah, you're right.
So you can stake the pumpkins through the center and still carve them or not carve them and just decorate them and create a little pumpkin hill on your pots outside your front door.
That's a great idea.
Something fun too.
Yeah, that's the thing, because you're right. Once we start to get to Halloween, sometimes your mums and things are starting to get
to get chillier. In some years, it just depends, right?
Right.
Like last year, it was very cold. So.
Right. Oh my gosh, we don't want to talk about last year, do we? Before moments away, we're going to be talking about Christmas here, right? Yes. So enjoy this time of the season, and we know snow will be upon us in the blink of an eye. So enjoy your time, enjoy Halloween, and I'm sure next time I see you, we'll be talking about Christmas.
Yes, I'm sure. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween to you as well, and everyone at home. We'll be back with more Terra after this.
When I dream in color. When I think of color, I think of Terra. Make your dreams come true at Terra, where color lives.
You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
Good morning. Welcome back to Terra at Home. We're back with Chef Mark from La Piazza Allegra restaurant in Hamilton. Nice to have you back on with us.
Thank you very much.
And what are we making today?
Well, we're getting into that fall season, so we're going back to that, hearty root vegetables and, heavy greens and stuff like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a little side dish. I love this one. This one I normally serve at my Thanksgiving dinner because I absolutely love this dish.
Well, it's good to come up with a good side dish. People need some side dish options sometimes just to change things up a little bit, right?
Because you know what? Sometimes the proteins stay the same.
Yes.
But you switch up those sides and it's like a whole new meal.
It's a
whole new meal.
Awesome.
So what we have here is we have some pancetta. Okay, now this one we cure here at the restaurant.
Yeah.
It's a really nice cut. You can use bacon as well if you don't want to use pancetta. Okay. I just prefer the pancetta because you don't have any of that smoky flavor that normally comes with bacon or any of the honey or the maple that they tend to do bacon with.
Okay.
So this is just savory on that side without the sweet.
Okay.
We have some Swiss chard, which you can, is coming into season as well. This is green. You can also use the red Swiss chard, or you can use collard greens as well. And then, of course, we have cabbage. It doesn't really matter which cabbage you use. I prefer to use Savoy cabbage. I just find it a little bit milder in flavor. It doesn't have that strong sulfur flavor that
I agree.
you know the green cabbage has.
Yes.
So what we're going to do, we have this skillet and we just heat it up. And we're going to throw in the pancetta. Now, I haven't put any olive oil in there because I really want to start crisping up this pancetta first.
Okay.
There's a fair amount of fat in pancetta to begin with. So you don't need a lot of oil in the dish at all. But once you start crisping this up, you'll see the oils and the fat start melting down and come out of that. So that's what we're going to use.
It's amazing how much a bacon or a pancetta or something can flavor a dish, right? It just instantly just gives it a...
It gives it a lot of flavor. You know, it's pork goes over really well. It's a very savory thing. And when you mix it with greens that are high in sulfur or a little bit on the bitter side, it really balances the whole thing out. So... So we're
and these are actually very good for you too.
They're very good for you. We just got to give this a rough cut. Doesn't have to be fine or anything like that. And then we're going to do the same thing with the cabbage. Now, the cabbage is up to you. Some people like to cut it into chunks.
Yes.
I prefer to shave it closer to a shave. I find it to be a little bit easier to work with. It cooks a little quicker. It's just easier to deal with as far as cooking times and stuff. So we have some cabbage there. We'll put that aside. And so you can see that bacon is starting to, the pancetta is starting to brown up. And we're just going to keep moving it around. Now this is not this is a sticking pan, not a non-sticking pan.
Right, right.
And yet you can still see it's still coming off the bottom, and that's just from the fat that's coming off of the pancetta.
Yeah, it's funny. So many people, that's all they have nowadays are non-stick pans.
Non-stick pans.
Right.
I mean, they are a little bit easier to work with sometimes when you're doing the cleanup portion of it.
Sure.
I still like this. This is
Sure.
a little old school. So.
Oh, well, you are a chef, so.
A little bit of salt
Okay.
and a little bit of pepper. Now, as this starts to brown, this is when we're going to start throwing in the greens. Now, I'm going to put the cabbage first, just because the cabbage is heartier.
There's a fair amount of water content in cabbage too, isn't there?
There is.
Okay.
And that's why I haven't added anything to it. I haven't, I'm not putting any liquid into it. I'm not covering or anything like that. I'm just putting it in the pan. That's right. And let it start to reduce down. Now, again, I haven't added any of the oil yet or the garlic just because I don't want those to burn. Okay. We're doing this at fairly high heat.
Because the pan is, it's fairly dry and high heat. Yeah.
That's right. And the olive oil, of course, burns at a very low temperature, so you do have to be careful with that.
Okay.
Yeah, we just keep mixing it around. This is one of those dishes that, like I said, being a side dish, it's a nice, easy one, especially if you do what I did here where you shave the cabbage nice and thin. I mean, you can go on and move on to other things. You can leave it and just let it go, and it'll start wilting down on its own, and you don't have to worry too much about it. It's not like some of the other side dishes, especially if you're doing broccoli and stuff. You really got to watch it on the stove.
Sure.
Because you don't want that army green color for your
no,
green vegetables.
No, and that you're right. That's key.
Nobody likes army green.
You eat with your eyes first, right?
That's right.
And you know what? What's great about this dish is, I mean, it is so easy to throw together.
It is.
That, you know, just watching it here, it's like, wow, this just gives you another option, just out of the gun like that. And it's so easy. I mean, even if you wanted to prep ahead and cut this stuff all up,
Have
you
it
come
ready
home,
to go.
boom, 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 throw it together, and
Yep, exactly.
pancetta makes everything better.
Yeah, pancetta makes everything better.
It's just added to anything. It tastes really good.
Now, I mean, this is not far from a cabbage and pork soup. So, I mean, you add vegetable stock, you do the same sort of thing, brown that all up, deglaze the pan, put it in, add some potatoes and stuff like that. You got a really nice winter soup as well. So,
good
I mean, there's a
idea.
lot of things you can do with very similar ingredients, just changing the cooking method.
And that's what's great. That's what comes with experience, right? The more you try to cook, try things out of the box a little bit at home, and the next time around you're like, oh, I could do this and this and this, and that's what makes, you know, a great chef, obviously, is because you just know what works, and you're willing to experiment with what flavors you know work well with each other.
Yeah.
So that's easy. That's great.
And you know what? It's all about experimenting. I mean, that's the beauty about my job. You get to experiment. You make a mistake, throw it in the garbage, start again.
See, so many people are afraid to do that though when it comes to cooking, right? Some things just don't work out well.
You have to experiment. That's the only way you're going to know what you like, what works, what doesn't work, what works with the family. Sometimes kids won't like it or whatever. You know, if I leave this out
so
or
what if
add
I
something.
take this out and replace it with something else that's similar? And as you say, you know, we're going into major soup weather right now, so people love that cozy, more of a cozy meal. Just the association with the weather, we just naturally gravitate towards that.
That's right.
And so lots of options for soups. So
that's right. So now you can see that the cabbage is starting to go green, it's starting to get softer and starting to wilt down. So now I'm going to add my olive oil.
Okay.
I'm going to add a touch of garlic. And it's up to you how much you want to add.
This smells really good.
There we go. We'll
But again, I just love how straightforward it is.
Very straightforward. I can lower the heat a little bit now because I have got the olive oil in there and I don't want that to burn. And now we're going to add the Swiss chard.
Now, is this one of those dishes you kind of need to prepare and serve pretty much right away?
You can start it, like if we were to start it now and then stop it, this is the point where I would stop it.
Sure.
Just turn it off the heat like that, set it aside,
okay,
and just leave it there. And then when you're ready to go, turn it back on, finish it off, put it back into the plate. Yeah, because you're looking at, you know, you don't want it to overcook.
Sure.
But
okay, well, what we'll do, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll finish this up and plate it for you. We'll be right back.
When I dream in color. When I think of color, I think of Terra. Make your dreams come true at Terra, where color lives.
You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
The Hamilton Spectator, at work, at home, or on the go. Read us online, in print, or download us to your e-reader. Get the Hamilton Spectator any way you want it.
Welcome back to Terra at Home. We're back with Chef Mark and making a nice side dish, nice and easy side dish for the fall. And we'll just kind of recap what we've done.
Yeah, so we crisped up some pancetta there. We put in some Savoy cabbage, topped it with some Swiss chard and a little bit of garlic, some olive oil, a little bit of salt and pepper. And all we're going to do is we're going to finish this off by tossing that Swiss chard in there. Okay. We put it on the plate, drizzle some olive oil, finish it off with some Parmesan cheese.
Easy. That's great.
Easy.
And again, as we were talking, you know, right from there, just think outside the box every time. So think about, okay, what other greens could I use next time? What, you know, just different sources. And you've got instant, easy side dishes that you can put together. Yeah. And as you say, you know, you have that staple protein, whether you're making, you know, a chicken breast or whatever it may be, and then just change up the sides.
Just change up the side. You know what? It makes a whole new meal and different flavor profile for the entire meal when you do this.
Exactly.
Because this is, I mean, it is a strong flavor.
Sure.
So.
It looks so good. So while you're plating that, to just remind everybody at home, you can log on to our website, terragreenhouses.com, and find all of the recipes that Chef Mark prepares for us. You can go way back and check out all the recipes that we make throughout the seasons and put together an awesome meal. Oh, it smells so good.
There we go.
Really, really awesome. And again, just a little bit of Parmesan cheese and a little. So you add a little bit more olive oil.
I'm just going to add a little bit of olive oil just to give it a nice color and really bring out that olive flavor.
Sure. Oh, it's awesome. Love it.
Parmesan cheese.
And of course, we know Thanksgiving is just around the corner as well, so an option to make a whole bunch of this very quickly and easily. You know, we know Thanksgiving is a very time-consuming meal anyway, so might find something easy in there as well to use, right?
That's right.
Always great to have you on the show, and just the smells of fall right now in the air, and
it is nice.
It's happening, so that's a good one. I think I just eat that in a big
you know
bowl.
what? It's all local. That's the best part. It's all local for us right now.
Very good. See, and that's what's great about having a local chef as well from Hamilton.
Right.
Very good. We'll be back with more Terra at Home. Actually, that's it for the weekend. Have yourself a good one. Try this tonight.
When I dream in color. When I think of color, I think of Terra. Make your dreams come true at Terra, where color lives.